Hello everybody, Mike Westfall here with McDonald Garden Center. Today we are talking about our staff fall favorites. And you might say, what is that? So, what we're doing is we're trying to highlight some of our amazing employees, our amazing staff. I always tell the story about how everything that I've really learned is from the staff here. I mean, there's so many years of experience. The people that work here really get into gardening. And so because of that, you get to learn from their successes and failures. And so that is what's so cool about a local garden center is you're going to get that kind of local touch. You're going to be talking with people that are gardeners, that are living the dream and loving what they do. And so you get that great education, you get those great true life experiences. And our staff is completely amazing at giving those details to you and allowing you to be successful as well as enjoying our successes. So this Staff Fall Favorites Week is really for us to highlight some of our amazing employees. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody in this webinar. I'm going to do kind of 10 that I just kind of randomly chose, 5 from each of our locations. So we've got a lot to go through. I've got a lot of products that we're going to talk about, but basically we kind of went to our staff and said, hey, we'd love to know what your favorites are and the things that you've used from our garden center that you absolutely love, especially and really kind of specifically geared to fall. So what is it that you love about fall? We love fall here at the garden center. I think most gardeners love the fall season. One, we know it's a little bit of an easier time to plant. We get root development. We don't have to worry too much about watering. We typically get a good amount of rain. And the cooler season is approaching, so it's a nice time to be out in the yard. Feel free to make comments and ask questions throughout this. Susan, hi from Pennsylvania, great. So I know you don't live in our neck of the woods, but visit your local garden centers because I'm sure they have lots of staff too that can tell you about all of their experiences in the garden in your locality. So all right, so the first one we're going to do, I'm going to just jump right in. Actually I want to take 1 second and just say thank you to our staff. So if any of our staff watch this video, I want to say thank you for everything that you do. It is, it's amazing what you can accomplish here at the Garden Center. They work so hard to get all of the products in tip-top shape and get them all out to our customers and get them tagged and get them priced correctly and get them displayed and create inspirational displays. They do such amazing jobs with that, and this is their time, or this is our time to say thank you and also to highlight some of them. So the first one we're going to highlight is going to be Xavier. Xavier works here at the Independence location. He works in various departments, specifically kind of garden supply, which is kind of like our garden pharmacy. But he's been with us for a while now and has learned a great deal and has really gotten into gardening. It's really fun to see new employees that we hire and they kind of really just jump right in and they say, I really love this. I really want to get into it. And so Xavier has chosen fall seeds. And so that's awesome. I mean, I love seeds. Seeds are really, really fun. They're very, very rewarding, and there's a huge selection. So Xavier's right on here. The choices in the fall are absolutely amazing. I did a webinar specifically on cole crops. Cole crops are what a lot of people I think called cold crops, C-O-L-D, but cole crops, C-O-L-E, are really this huge group of crops that, or vegetables, edible plants like spinach, lettuce, carrots, beets, turnips, parsnips, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kale, the list goes on. And there's a huge assortment, and it's really, really easy to grow. So that's what we love about our cole crops in the Hampton Roads area is because they grow so easily and they're super easy to grow from seed. So huge selection. So thank you, Xavier, for that pick because I absolutely love seeds. And there's so many choices. I mean, I just grabbed a couple off the shelf. So I've got broccoli, I've got kale, I've got the lettuce, the red sales lettuce. I absolutely love that. The salad bowl red lettuce. And then we've got some radishes, which are super easy. I love radishes because these you can harvest in 25 days. I don't know of another crop that you can plant from seed and harvest in 25 days. So they grow very, very quickly. They love the cool weather. But I also grabbed a pack of tomato seeds because hey, the holidays are coming up. These make great stocking stuffers, so you can pop these in a gardener's stocking and they will love it. So you can pick up a lot of things that you can actually plant next year too. You just keep them stored in a nice, cool, dark, dry place and they'll be perfectly fine for next year. And most of these are rated, I think, for 2023. So yep, packed for 2023. So the sell-by date is not until December of 2023. So these are going to be very, very good. They're a fresh new packet and a huge selection of seeds. And seeds are really easy to grow. A lot of people get a little scared about planting seeds because they're not quite sure how to do it, but it's really, really easy. All the information that you need is right on the back of the packet. And of course, Xavier or myself or anybody in the store could probably help you with how to start any of these plants from seeds, and fall is a great time to plant them. So great choice, Xavier. All right, next one is going to be Bob. Bob works over at our Great Neck location. He actually originally worked in our Chesapeake location. He has been with us for a very long time. Wealth of knowledge. He's a master gardener. He really has done so much for the company over the years. He only works about 1 to 2 days right now, but he loves working here. He loves the garden center, loves McDonald Garden Center, and he has chosen Biotone. So Biotone, one of our favorites over the past, probably, I don't know, it's probably been about 3 or 4 years that we really have kind of honed in on when you're starting plants, when you're planting a new plant, to use Biotone Starter. It is an awesome, awesome product. It's so great because not only is it a starter fertilizer, a starter plant food, but it's also got these beneficial bacteria and mycorrhizas. So really, really great choice, Bob. Biotone Starter. Use this when you plant. Comes in a 4-pound, an 8-pound, or an 18-pound. So if you're doing a bigger project, you can get a bigger bag. I like to just get the 18-pound and have it, because whether I'm planting in a container, so let's say I'm planting some pansies up in a pot, throw some Biotone in there. If I'm planting a shrub out in the landscape, Biotone. You want to get this right to the root system. That's how it's the most effective. If you sprinkle on the top of a plant, the starter plant food will work, but the beneficial bacteria and the mycorrhizas really need to get to the root system, and they need to get to the root system fast, because what happens is they form a symbiotic relationship. The roots and the mycorrhizae kind of connect with each other, and what happens is the root system gets bigger, and the mycorrhizae and the beneficial bacteria take things from the plant that they don't really want, and they're trying to expel and get rid of, and the mycorrhizae and beneficial bacteria want it, and then they give back to the plant what the plant needs. And so it's a great relationship, and it can last the entirety of the plant's life. So when you're planting, use Biotone Starter. It is a great one. It's very, very easy to use, and it goes a pretty long way. And then what I do is probably about 2 or 3 weeks later, I will go through and fertilize with my regular plant food, because the starter fertilizer on here will get used up fairly quickly. The beneficial bacteria mycorrhizae will attach and get running, and you will see great results with this. Less watering, bigger root system, more success, less chance of a plant maybe failing on you. So Biotone Starter is a game changer when it comes to a plant starting food. So really, really great one. Great choice, Bob. He really loves Biotone. He'll talk about it a lot if you ever visit him over at the Great Neck location. All right, the next one is going to be Caitlyn. So Caitlyn just started here. She's from Atlanta, from Georgia. And so she worked at a garden center that we know very well down there, and has lots and lots of experience. And she's been with us for a little while now. I think just hired this past spring, maybe summer. But she has been with us for a little while now and really loves it here. She's here at the Independence location. She works in the houseplant section. So of course, she chose philodendrons. So philodendrons is a great choice from Caitlyn. Because there's so many different colors. She mentions it right there in her little description, that she loves all the different colors and styles and habits. There's so many different choices, and I love philodendrons, and she's right. They're easy. I'm actually growing quite a few in my house right now. I absolutely love them. They're easy for kind of a beginner, and they offer a wide range of leaf shapes and colors and patterns. And so really, really great choice from Caitlyn. And we have a huge selection right now, so you got to come in and see them at both of our year-round locations. Caitlyn works here at our Independence location, and she's a wealth of knowledge because she's been in the industry for a long time, and we love that, people that have been working in garden centers before. So I grabbed a couple philodendrons. I think one that I'm going to have to take home. It's not this one. So this one, and I'm going to butcher some of these names because some of them are hard to do, but this is Kathleen. So this is Philodendron Kathleen. This is an easy one, but I grabbed this one because of that color, that great fall color. So if you're looking to bring something in to your home for some really nice kind of orange, dark kind of almost maroon colors, and philodendrons are great because they like, medium to high light, so you want to get them in a pretty bright room, but the watering requirements are very, very easy on these. A lot of them really like a wet dry cycle, so you can water them, let them dry out. Water them, let them dry out, which once I learned how to do a wet dry cycle, it changed my life with houseplants, because I think a lot of us probably pamper our houseplants probably more than we do our outdoor plants, and sometimes they thrive on neglect a little bit more. So let them go really dry and then really, really give them a nice deep watering. So really pretty color on that one. And then I grabbed a really popular one. This is a Birkin. So I know that one, Philodendron Birkin. So awesome pattern. So I grabbed that one because look at that pattern. And you can get some of these philodendrons in lime green with dissected leaves, so the leaf has the cutouts in it. So, I think a lot of people think of the Monstera. So lots and lots of different options in the philodendron world. And a lot of these are vines or grow in trees or grow up trees. So they're used to kind of, again, that wet dry cycle. They're used to getting the water coming down the tree, soaked into the bark, and they absorb it that way. So the watering requirements are pretty low. Just they do want a fair amount of light indoors. So you want to make sure you're getting that kind of good medium to high light indoors. So great option. Look at that color. Can't beat that. Gorgeous, gorgeous plant. And here's another one that I grabbed that I've seen before, but because now I've had so much success, and this is the name that I'm not quite sure I'm going to be able to pronounce, but this is Philodendron squamiferum. But what I think is so cool about this is not only that leaf shape, I love that leaf shape, really cool, kind of reminds me of maybe like an oak leaf or maybe like a filbert leaf or something like that. So really, really cool looking leaf, but then look at the stem inside. So let's see if I can get it to focus on that. All of these little tiny hairs all over it. So let's see if you can look at it from the top end. So really, really cool looking, very interesting. And when you see it in person, you can kind of touch it. It's got all these little tiny spines on the inside. Look at that. Really, really interesting. So I love that color. So this one might have to go home with me. And this is probably a little bit more on the rarer side because this one is $39.99 for this little 4-inch pot, but probably well worth it. Look at that color. I love that bright green, and that really interesting stem is really cool. And that's definitely going to be a vining variety. You can see all those little kind of air roots coming out to try and attach to something to climb. So this is a great one. I love them because I have some in my house that are vining. They want to grow on something, but I'm just letting them trail down bookcases and shelving units, and so they look great that way. And then I've got like my big Monstera, up on a pole, and it looks amazing. So really, really have a lot of fun with them. Philodendrons, great choice from Caitlyn here at the Independence location. All right, I went way too long on philodendrons, but I have been having so much success with them that these are the stories that I think people want to hear. Is they're easy to grow, they're a lot of fun, and there's a huge range of choices here at McDonald Garden Center. All right, the next one is going to be Norm. So Norm chose mini pumpkins. Norm works over at our Great Neck location. He just started like literally probably 3 or 4 weeks ago. He is super, super excited to be with us and work in our green goods section or our outdoor plant department. So he is kind of working out on annuals, perennials, and trees and shrubs. He's learning so much. There is a ton that he's going to have to learn, but he is really, really into it, and he is having a lot of fun over there. So go check out Norm. I love Norm's pick because it's mini pumpkins. He's a big guy. He's very tall, and he's got this little tiny mini pumpkin. So, but mini pumpkins, great choice from Norm. So go check out Norm over at the Great Neck location. And mini pumpkins are so fun to decorate with. I love these guys. There's so many different choices in these little guys. Look at this really cool one with the stripes. I'm not quite sure what the variety is on it, but really, really cool one. I love the little orange ones with the green spots. Kind of the funkier, the cooler, I think, these days. I think a lot of people originally want like the perfect pumpkin. I grabbed the pie pumpkin. Pie pumpkins are like perfection. I like pies because a lot of times you can get the really cool long stems on them, but pie pumpkins are a good one. The little white pumpkins. Here's another little white pumpkin with more of the ridges on it. But these really stand out great. And the reason that I love these little guys is because, like you can see behind me, you can stack them, you can put them in containers, you can do so many different things with them. They're great indoors. Kids love them. Kids absolutely love them. My daughter paints all of hers. So they're a great choice for fall decorating, whether you're doing it on your front porch, just to fill in some of those gaps and nooks and crannies like that, or like that. Just kind of tuck them in anywhere, put them in your containers, especially if you're changing out like a summer container. And maybe you're like, I want to put something in there, but I don't know what it is. Grab a pumpkin. It'll get you through the fall season into even Thanksgiving. And then you can pull it out and you can pop something else in it. Maybe something else that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But mini pumpkins are a great choice by Norm, and we have a humongous selection of them right now. So come in and check us out and check out these little mini pumpkins, because there's so many choices and you can use them in so many different places. Tablescape, in containers, front porch, just on the fireplace, over top of the fireplace, anywhere on shelves. You can tuck them anywhere. That's what I love about them, is they're so easy to use and there's so many choices. So great choice from Norm there over at Great Neck. And then our next one is going to be James. So James is the store manager here at the Independent Store. And James has chosen an amazing plant, the Blood Good Japanese Maple. James has been with us for a long time, worked in many different departments, and now he's running our store, the entire store. And he's doing a great job. He is a wealth of knowledge. He's been in the industry a long time. He's worked in greenhouses and garden centers and worked on a receiving dock, as well as worked in many departments, assistant manager, now store manager, wealth of knowledge, and a great person to work with and a great person to learn from. I've learned a great deal from James. He is very smart and really knows his plants. And he chose Blood Good Japanese Maple. Now, Blood Good Japanese Maples are absolutely stunning and amazing. He's got a great choice. Japanese maples in general are a great thing to plant in the fall. Like I mentioned, the fall is an amazing time to plant. Fall is for planting. This is when root systems grow, and to plant a tree now, especially Japanese maple, it's going to give it the longest time before summer hits. So you're really going to feel very comfortable going into the summer season with that Japanese maple, or with any plant that you plant in the fall, that it's pretty well acclimated. We'll have to watch it for the first summer, but we won't have to water it or really kind of maintain it too much through the first summer, because we've given it the longest time before summer hits. So great choice. Japanese maples are amazing. The Blood Good maples are really pretty because of their fall color and their just year-round interest. So I grabbed one here. It's probably too big for me to really kind of pull up here and show you, but let me just see if I can get it over here so you can see it a little bit better. So here you go. You can see the habit there. Nice trunk, good sized tree. This is about a 5-gallon pot, 5-gallon container, and you can just see that amazing fall color. So really great one. In the spring, it comes out very nice and red. A little bit more intense than this, so you're going to see a little bit more of this kind of summer color. I'll put it on my shirt here so you can see it a little bit better. But it's a really nice kind of dark burgundy in the summer, and then as we start getting cooler, the leaves start to change on trees. These are going to turn like super intense red, like scarlet red. It is absolutely amazing, and then they're going to lose their leaves. But here's the great thing about Japanese maples. They're all so unique and different that the structure and the habit of the tree is going to look so cool in your landscape. So it's a great specimen. They're pretty easy to grow. They really don't require a whole ton. They're fun to prune. I've done videos on how to prune them. Pretty easy to grow, really. I mean, we have a very similar climate to Japan, and these grow in the mountains of Japan. So my biggest advice is probably plant them on a little bit of a dome, a little bit of a hill, so that they have all their own little mountain to live on. And basically what that means is don't put soil on the top of the root ball, but build up a little bit to the edge. So maybe plant it about 2 or 3 inches above grade. So if this is my grade of my soil, I put the root ball about this high up out of the hole, and then I just bring a little bit of extra soil up to the side. Very easy thing to do. And that'll put it up on its own little mountain, and they will love that. Watch it through the first summer. After that, you're probably good. Lots and lots of varieties, over 10,000 different varieties of Japanese maples. Blood Good, one of the best. One of the best red varieties, holds on to that red color throughout the summer. It's a great one. So great choice by James, and we've got a pretty good little selection of them right now. So Japanese maples, maybe they'll even be on a deal, so you'll have to come in and check us out. But Japanese maples, great choice in general. Blood Good, one of the best. And we actually didn't have many this spring, so if you're looking for one, if you were looking for one, we've got them now, so you got to come and check us out. So great choice, James. Next one is going to be Tatiana. So Tatiana works over at a Great Neck location. I don't know if you've picked up on my trend here, but I'm going Independence, Great Neck, Independence, Great Neck. So Tatiana works over at our Great Neck location. She really only works weekends, so she covers us for Saturday and Sunday in our houseplant department. She is a wealth of knowledge. She's been with us with Great Neck almost from the beginning, I think from the beginning. So almost 6 years now, she's been with us as we've been over there at the Great Neck location. She is just awesome. She's worked so hard for us, comes and covers us all on the weekend. She's got a weekday job, and then she comes and works with us on the weekends. So it's a great opportunity to kind of highlight Tatiana, because a lot of us don't see her that much because she's only here on Saturdays and Sundays. And we're always kind of running around. So Tatiana, thank you for your highlight, your pick of snake plants, because snake plants are great. She works in houseplant departments, and she says it's one of the easiest plants to grow. So she would know, and I know too, because snake plants are. I love snake plants. I've got a few at home as well, and they are one of the easiest plants for a beginner to try and grow, especially indoor plants, because they don't require a whole lot of maintenance and care. And so that's what's so great about them. And Tatiana, it's a great choice. And I grabbed a couple here. So this is Robusta. So this is Sansevieria. So snake plants are what a lot of people call them. Sansevieria is another one. So that's kind of their true name. Snake plant's more of a common name, but just love the striping and the patterns on them. It's a great plant for beginners because the watering requirements are pretty low. You know, really wet, dry cycle, but you can let them go really dry. So you really don't have to water them much. I mean, I water mine maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months. I mean, in the winter, I really push it, so because they're not using as much moisture. So it's a great plant. I love to take it out and give it a little bit of a soaking in the rain, because a lot of our indoor plants don't get a lot of rain naturally unless you're collecting it in a rain barrel, which is not a bad idea, of course. But this is a great selection. And if you get a little bit of rainfall and you can take it and put it out in the rain, it drops the water off of it pretty easily, so you can pull it back in fairly quickly. I know a lot of people, if you take your plants out to get a little rain on them, sometimes they can stay wet for a while. But natural rainfall is great for it. If you're using tap water, same with like the philodendrons that I was talking about, tap water is great. Just maybe let it sit in a watering can for about 24 hours. So usually what I do is I push my plants a little bit, because we tend to overwater our indoor plants. I am definitely to blame for that a few times. So I always find it best to say, I need to water my indoor plants. So then instead what I do is I go fill up my watering can. I let it sit for about 24 hours, and then I water the next day, because they probably can make it one more day. Now, sometimes you might run into something like a peace lily, you know, kind of laying flat, but snake plants are super easy. You'll start to get little new guys popping out. You can see that little new guy right there. So really pretty easy. You can divide them if you want to over time. Really great plant, and lots of different colors and patterns. I grabbed another one, very upright. So let's see if I can get the name on this one. So this is Sensation. Look at that color. I love the white and the green stripe on it. Super cool, very architectural, very modern, and work in a lot of places. And I didn't mention sunlight. They don't require a ton of light. You know, anywhere from, you know, pretty bright room all the way to a pretty dark room. And so really from high light to low light conditions really work great. A lot of times I find mine work best in a little bit more in the medium to high. But if you've got a low light situation, snake plants are not a bad choice. ZZ plants are another good option as well, but snake plants are one of the best for beginners. So great choice, Tatiana. Thank you so much for everything you do. All right, so the next one is going to be Michelle. Michelle, I'm sure a lot of you have met. Michelle is awesome. She works in our annuals department. She runs our annuals department over here at the Independence location, and she is a wealth of knowledge, and she is always moving and changing and doing different things. And she chose Dusty Miller, and Dusty Miller is a great choice. You know, we're always looking for something in the fall and to plant, right? We're always looking for some annual, something to change out in our containers, or something different to do in the landscape. And pansies, I absolutely love. We might talk about that here in the upcoming staff fall favorites. But Dusty Miller is a great choice because it allows you a transition from one thing to the next, or it allows you to kind of change the texture and the look. It works great all the way through winter. It reminds me of that kind of, frosty look on a plant that you get in the morning sometimes when we get a little light frost. But Michelle is absolutely amazing, and she works so hard, and it's a great choice because I tend to forget about Dusty Miller all the time. I got a couple back here, but I grabbed one as well so I can show you up close. Just look at that texture. I mean, it looks like it's painted white. And so it's kind of like you can see the green on the older leaves, and then it's like it's dusty, and it's like what works its way off. So the dust is thicker up here, it's a little bit lighter down here, but it's actually the leaf, it's just natural. Really cool, great in containers, as I mentioned. Great to pair with pansies or to put in your landscape, mass out in your landscape. In fact, these are pretty much year round. These will grow almost year round out in the landscape. But we really recommend planting them in the fall with pansies in containers, and then even in the spring as well. So you'll see a lot of these in the fall and spring, but you can really plant them year round. They're great plants. I mean, we sell them as an annual, but really almost evergreen. Really cool plant. If you let it bloom in the summer, it can bloom. It gets a little yellow bloom, but it's a great plant, great filler. When we're looking in containers, we're looking for thrillers, fillers, and spillers. This, I think, could be a thriller, but it's a great filler for the landscape or container. So great option, Michelle. You work so hard for us, and I thank you so much for everything you do. And it's a great choice because I always forget about it. Because the next one is ornamental kale, and this is the one that I always tend to go with. So Lucas is over at our Great Neck location. Lucas has been with us for a while now, and has done so many different things, from working on a register to working in our outdoor plant departments, working in receiving. He's done so many different things at the post office over there. So a great guy. You got to meet Lucas. Very friendly, has a wealth of knowledge really in the garden industry, and he has chosen an amazing one. Ornamental kale and cabbages are absolutely amazing. Most of them are going to be ornamental kales these days, and you can really make this a bigger class. I know Steve, who works over at our Great Neck location, picked dinosaur kale, Swiss chard. There's a lot of them, but the ornamental kales and cabbages are some of my absolute favorites. So great pick, Lucas. He knows what he's talking about in his comment there that it's one of his favorite thrillers for a container. He is dead on. It is a great one, and because we've had a little bit of cooler weather, they're starting to show their color. So a lot of times when you buy them, they're just this color. They're just this green, this really roughly green, which looks like a head of lettuce almost. But now that we've had some cooler nights, look at that color. I mean, absolutely stunning what these things do. As it gets cooler and cooler, this color just explodes. Couple fun facts about ornamental kales and cabbages is when you plant them, I definitely recommend taking off some of these lower leaves. These look absolutely perfect. I'm not going to do it now, but you can just snap these lower leaves off, plant it a little bit deeper. It keeps it nice and squatty if you're doing it on the edge of a container, or if you're planting it in the center, just plant it right in the center and plant your pansies around it, and they make a great combination with a purple mom. Look at that. And a pansy to pair with it. Look at this little pansy right here I can grab. So this little pansy right here, look at that. It almost matches it perfectly. So you got a great color combination. There's so many choices too. There's lots and lots of different types. There's some that are a little bit more frilly and a little bit more upright. There's some that are a little bit lower and squattier. You can get them in these nice big containers. You can plant them in the landscape. They're absolutely amazing in the landscape. And they come in different colors as well. So this one hasn't quite started coloring up. We need a couple more cool nights, but this is going to be white on the inside. And if you're not quite sure, most of them should have a little tag in them that kind of tell you what color it's going to be. But you can always ask us here at the Garden Center what color we think it's going to be. We can almost typically tell because if you look at this one, it's kind of that lighter green. And then this one's a little bit darker green. So you're going to get the darker center with the darker colored leaf, and then the lighter colored leaf, you're going to get the lighter center. So really cool plant. Great choice from Lucas because I love to use ornamental kales, and it was perfect pairing with Michelle because Michelle chose Dusty Miller, which I tend to forget about. So again, these are the things that I learned from talking to the staff here and working with them is they are a wealth of knowledge. So you got to come and talk to us to get all of the knowledge out of all of our employees and listen to what some of their favorites are, because both Dusty Miller and ornamental kales work great in containers in the landscape paired with pansies. They're absolutely amazing. Great choice, Lucas. Great choice, Michelle. All right, the next one is going to be Nikki. Nikki works here at our Independence location. She runs our perennials department. She is a wealth of knowledge. Let me tell you, I've learned so much from her, and she is like such a kind soul, kind person. She cares so much about the butterflies when we do our pollinator week. She's the one that really kind of takes care of them. She really, really loves her butterflies. Makes sure none of her plants have any insecticides ever sprayed on them or anything like that, because it'll harm the butterflies. So she cares so much about the insects and nature in general. Plants, animals, everything. She's such a kind soul. And she chose mums, which of course, fall is the time for mums. And mums are a perennial. She works in the perennials department. Of course, she would choose a great perennial. I think a lot of people throw them away, which is perfectly fine. But I definitely recommend planting them. I would put them in a container. I've got a few that I'm growing in terracotta pots that I absolutely love, and I cut back and I just stick them in the backyard somewhere and water them every so often when I think about it. And then as I start to see them coming up in the spring and into the summer, give them a little cut back, nice and tight, and then they bloom in the fall. And they're just so easy. Plant them in the landscape. You can mass them out. They're great in the landscape. They're one of the easiest perennials to grow. They're super, super reliable, but you can't have fall. She says it right. You can't set your stage without a mum. So if you are doing a decorating on your front porch or patio, then you need mums. They're kind of like the centerpiece of the front porch of a porch package, you might say. So we sell the porch package with wheat straw and corn stalks and mums and pumpkins, and without the mum, it would be kind of boring. So the mums add a lot of color. There's so many choices, from whites to burgundies to these purples, yellows, lots and lots of choices. So great choice from Nikki. Amazing, amazing plant, and super, super easy, which is why I love them. So I grabbed this yellow one here. Really, really cool. Look at that. I mean, just look at that. All of those blooms are about to open up. And here we are in October, so this is going to be a good 3 or 4 weeks. So this almost gets us, it gets us past Halloween, closer to Thanksgiving. And not only are there just the garden mums, which we call garden mums, but there's also florist mums. I didn't grab one, but florist mums we sell in our houseplant section, because a lot of times you're going to use those in an indoor kind of location. But they're great, and they have lots of different colors. You think of the football mums, and some of the other ones that have like the variation in the bloom, where you get kind of the yellow and the dark kind of maroon or red colors. Really, really cool. Like Pele was one of the most popular ones, Mum Pele. But these garden mums are absolutely amazing. They're huge. They're not very expensive, so they cover a lot of space and can do a lot of different things for you in the landscape, in a container. And Nikki is right. They set the stage for a fall look, and they are kind of what people think of. If you were to say, name one plant that you think of when you say fall, it'd probably be mums, because they are so, so popular, and they're great for pollinators, asters, and mums. Some of those late pollinators like bees and stuff that are kind of working, still working when it's a warm day, they're out there, and they need some nectar and some pollen, and these are great options to add a little bit of that attraction for them. So mums do a lot for the landscape, do a lot for nature. They're very easy to grow, and you can get a wide array of colors. So, and enjoy them as a perennial. Don't forget, Nikki would tell you, it's a perennial. Plant it, don't throw it away. If you are going to throw it away, I do have a little secret tip that you can do. Cut it off, save the pot, save the root system, because it makes a great place. That root system makes a great place for you to stuff Christmas greens in. So when you get into that cooler time frame, when we get probably right around Thanksgiving, shortly after Thanksgiving, go and cut some holly, cut some pine, come in and see us. We've got all the fun stuff like the incense cedar and different types of noble pine or Fraser fir, and you can stuff it into that root system, and that root system's nice and tight and will hold it. I've in fact done that and then gone and planted it, and it still comes back. That's how tough mums are. So great, great choice from Nikki. All right, the next one is going to be, and the last one is going to be from two of our amazing employees over at Great Neck, Marge and Andra. Marge and Andra work in our annuals department. Of course, they chose pansies. Pansies are what fall is when you're talking about blooms. And the reason pansies are the fall favorite is because they bloom from fall all the way through winter. into the spring. Even when there's snow, you might see snow melting and pansy blooms underneath still blooming. So really, really great choice. They work amazing in containers, amazing massed out in the landscape. One of our favorites because of all the choices. And of course, Marge and Andra are a wealth of knowledge. They work so hard over at our Great Nook location. They put out a ton of pansies for all of our events and for our fall season. They work so hard and a wealth of knowledge. So again, people that I've learned from, that you can come and learn from here at the Garden Center. So we appreciate all that you are doing, Marge and Andra. They are amazing, amazing plants. Great choice. I grabbed a couple just to show you here, just to show you all the different types. So look at all these different colors. We've got, I love this blue. This blue one is absolutely amazing. Let me pull this out so you can see that bloom. I mean, just look at that bloom, that kind of dark color with the light petal behind it. Blues look great in the landscape. They work all the way through the winter season. So they work in the fall, they work in the winter, and they work in the spring. They're a great, great choice. Let's see, I've also grabbed this mix. This is our coastal sunrise mix. So I love this one because mixes give you the opportunity to have different plants in one pot. So this actually has kind of a purple one with a little bit of a face, and then the yellow, kind of that lemon yellow with the blotch on it. So that's a really, really nice one. And mixes look great in containers, but also in the landscape. And that coastal sunrise is one of the most popular ones because it's, and some of them, I didn't grab all of them. If I grabbed a whole tray of those, there's probably like 6 or 7 different types of flowers in there. And sometimes they look different as they're kind of emerging and also as they're kind of fading. So really, really cool one. You can get the other ones. I always like to kind of maybe think of sports teams when I'm planting my pansies. And of course, this one reminds me of my JMU Dukes. So go Dukes. And purple and yellow works for a lot of different teams. LSU maybe. So you got lots and lots of choices to support your local sports teams or your college of choice or your professional of choice. So I mean, think of like the Washington Commanders when you see this, maybe a little bit of Virginia Tech in there. Great, great choice here, but also just an amazing look. Look at that little face. It looks like it's smiling at you. Reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. Great, great plants. Very, very easy to grow. Let's see, also come in just pure colors. So this is a pure purple. So really, really nice. With that little yellow dot in the center. Love that look. And then the ever popular yellow with blotch. Let's see if I can get a good, oh, there we go. Look at that. That just reminds me of that kind of little puppy dog face that you see on pansies, which make them so cheerful and so happy. And that's why I love pansies. That's why we love pansies here at McDonald Garden Center. And it's a great choice by Marge and Andra because they last a really, really long time. Bob would recommend planting them with biotone, so you get really, really good success. Pair them with some mums and some Dusty Miller. Nikki and Michelle would tell you that. Lucas would say plant them with some ornamental kale. And just a great, great choice. You can cut off the blooms, bring them in, you know, display them on a tablescape with some mini pumpkins, or you can float them in a bowl on a tablescape. You know, use your philodendrons and your snake plants indoors to kind of decorate with. And all of these choices are just absolutely amazing. Plant some seeds to eat some greens. So you know you got to have your kales. You can use them just as garnishment. But you can also eat kale, of course. Super, tons of choices. When we started thinking about spinach and lettuces that you can have for salads all fall, winter, and spring. So great, great choices from all of our amazing staff here at McDonald Garden Center. I really, really recommend that you come in and talk to us. We have so much knowledge that we want to give you and make you successful. And it's a great time to be in the landscape and be in the garden and be on your front porch planting up containers. Fall is a great time to decorate. It's easier on the plants. It's easier on us. So definitely come and see us. We're in great spirits here. I know we're gearing up for everything that we can do for the fall season, and we've got a huge, huge selection. So come and talk to our amazing staff here. Check out their staff fall favorites this week and enjoy all of the great deals that we've got going on for our staff fall favorites and our fall fest this weekend. We hope you can come and see us, and I hope you enjoyed this because it gave us an opportunity to kind of feature our amazing staff. So thank you to all of our staff here at McDonald Garden Center. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Linda, for the beautiful plants. We appreciate that. Come and see us here at the Garden Center, McDonald Garden Center. Hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you next week.